So as I was sitting down to like get ready and do the video and all that stuff, I was thinking, you know what? The Pine Green Ones could have made their way into this. Maybe not necessarily top 10 or whatever, but kind of instrumental in setting up this whole channel, right? So that's a story that has been told, and if you care to hear that story, there's a link somewhere or something, I guess. But either way, it's something that I considered, but just didn't quite make it this time around. Things happen. What's going on, people? So, I am no stranger whatsoever to being a little behind on the videos and whatnot. So I put up so many a couple weeks ago. Did 24 in a single day, right? 1 an hour. Probably turned a lot of people away from this channel. It's fine, it happens. Either way, so that's why, I'm just now getting around to doing this particular video, right? Oh man, so let's go ahead and set the stage, I suppose, right? So it's 2018, right? Seems like so long ago, but at the same time, maybe not. Either way, I was living over in New Mexico, which was probably the worst state in the world from what I understand, right? And I get it. If you are from New Mexico and you're maybe feeling offended or whatever, you probably should, because again, your state is freaking terrible. Geographically speaking, most of it is just trash, right? Albuquerque kind of gets a pass, but whatever, right? Personally, the way I see it, Mexico was doing just fine. We did not need a new one. They got it right the first time, then this comes along and it's like it's worse, and it's like, why, right? But either way, moving along past that, the shoe side of life was actually doing okay, right? There's all kinds of stuff coming around, right? Some of it you'll see here, some of it you'll see down here, right? So a lot of that was still me also getting into things, right? So it was kind of a cool time because a lot of stuff was newer than nowadays. Everything's just kind of like, it's all been done before. It's like that whole Simpsons South Park episode or whatever. But either way, so let's go ahead, jump on into some things. But first off, to, really remind you of what was going on back in 2018, behind all this, we have this right here. You remember what these are, don't you? I don't remember the exact name, but they had many a name on the internet. So let's go ahead and bring these out so you can remember what was going on in 2018. Yeah, that's right. This is my only pair of Under Armour shoes. So check those out. Yeah. Aren't these just a beauty? I still am not 100% sure why I bought these, but I certainly did, because obviously they're right here. So yeah, these were so close to making the top 10, and they just got edged out by everything else. So yeah, there's that. I don't talk about those a whole lot, but they're in the collection. A lot of stuff is, actually. So, also in 2018, real quick before we get into this, I didn't really have a whole lot of slides like I do now, Back then, the Air Jordan 12 Hydros, right? The Flu Game edition. Yeah, this is a lot of what I was wearing. I had a couple of them. I had a pair of 5s. I had another pair of the 12s. Yeah. These don't come out anymore, but I have them for nostalgia, I guess. So now we're going to get into the list, the top 10, 2018. In any particular order? No, not really. They're just here in the order in which they were pulled out. So there's that, right? All right, let's start with this one right here. I mean, it's on top, right? So this is going to be the 3MC Beavis and Buttheads, right? Now, some of you might remember this shoe. If you do, that's fairly impressive. This was actually the first one that I reviewed, right? So for that reason, and because it's Beavis and Butthead, it kind of gets like some extra special treatment or whatever. So that's partly why these are in the list, because of the whole, building the channel off of this. But also, they're just really cool. I mean, again, back then, a lot of stuff was new. I didn't know about all the collaboration things. I didn't know if this was regular or what, but I saw them, and I was like, oh yeah, this is a thing that I need more of. Hopefully they do more. And I did buy like the white pair later, and then more recently some other Puma pair. Now this box, right? Some of you might recognize the box. This, I don't remember what this is, honestly, by model, but I just remember looking at this and thinking, whatever that thing is, I need to have it. And it is a Kyrie 4. Yeah, I knew it was the Kyrie, but the number. So the Kyrie 4 All-Star, right? Now, I don't know how well this did as far as like attention for other people or whatever, but I saw it and I was like, yep, whatever is going on there, It's pretty fantastic, and let's go ahead and get that in the inventory because why not, right? Now, I don't remember anything about them as far as like how they fit, how they feel or whatever, but sometimes you just have those things where you're like, I'm not going to wear it a whole lot, I guess. It works that way sometimes, but I'm sure glad to have it because it looks really cool, and that's one of those cases. Moving along. Oh yeah, these. This was 2018, huh? I guess that makes sense. The 5th anniversary Ultra Boost. Right now, this may not look like a whole lot up front, but it does have a 3M upper, which is super fantastic. Got a little bit of yellow going on there, right? Even on the bottom. I'm a big black and yellow kind of guy, so this one right here, I was like, well, that sounds like something to have. And if I'm not mistaken, this is the one that I only got because it was super high priced at the time. It was not something I would normally buy back then. Nowadays, probably wouldn't think twice. But they happen to have some sort of glitch on the website where there was a coupon that was working on things that it shouldn't have worked on. So a lot of stuff was like 50% off or something. And I think that's how I got these. I'm very sure that it was, but I'm not going to say that, for a fact. But yeah, 5th anniversary Ultra Boost. Definitely like having those around. I don't wear them a whole lot, but then again, I have a lot of shoes, so I don't wear any of them a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? I mean, keeping the rotation going, it's just not possible unless I switch shoes like 3 times a day, which I don't really do that anymore. I used to, but life's changed. So what's going on in here? Oh, that's what's going on in here. The Ridge Rock Air Max 1 Premium, right? I remember seeing these and where did I? Jimmy Jazz came through for me. I really wanted these. They were sold out in a lot of places, but I saw them there. I believe I was at my mom's house when I made that order. I was like, oh, wow, click, click, click. Let's get those. And to this day, this is still one of my favorite shoes in general, right? Not just of 2018, not just of Air Max 1s, but just period. I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and act like they're, something everybody should really appreciate or whatever, because appreciate what makes sense to you. But for me, that's one that I really like a lot. And it seems like some other people do appreciate it as well. Like when I have posted pictures in the past, it does well for itself as far as attention, which means mostly nothing to me. Stack number 2. Oh, well, these right here. Man, I haven't worn these in like forever. This is going to be the Air Max Plus in the Frequency Pack colorway, or whatever you want to call it. It's like Tour Yellow and Black. Now, real quick, before I go getting deeper into this, right? Because it's something on my mind. If I don't say it now, I feel like I won't say it at all. The best Air Max Plus to come out in 2018, I don't own it. I bought it, and I bought it for my mom because it was a women's release, and I couldn't find my size. But, I mean, hers was there, so she was definitely going to be given a pair. I would have liked to have gotten one for myself. It was the Royal Tartan. I believe that's what it was called. Like, it's Tartan, but it's also like called like Royal Stewart. Like they use that layout or whatever. It's like some British thing, you see on like lots of flannel and stuff. But those things, like she wears those she wears them a lot during the winter time. And I saw them when I was last down there because she had them out like going to wherever she was going. And to this day, I like look at those and I'm like, man, I really wish I had a pair. Like so few things mean that much. Like usually it's oh, that'd be cool to have. But that was one that it's like the one that got away or something, should have been faster or should have known more. Had I known what I know now, probably would have found them somewhere back then. But, I was new to things. So these right here, this is an Air Max Plus, like I said, frequency pack thing. I forget what other models they had, but it doesn't really matter because I seemingly only wanted this one because it's the only one I got. They got a little tape thing going on down in there. You probably can't see that, and I'm not adding any pictures in there. Just take my word for it. And it's one of those things where like it's an Air Max Plus, got a different sort of upper material, which makes it like super, super comfortable. All the other ones are fine too, no problems for me. But this one is better. But yeah, black and yellow is a thing that I'm into. I feel like I said that once or twice before, right? If you were paying attention, you heard it. But yeah, so that was a cool one to have. I also did a video of like cleaning scuff marks off of it. And I used to get a lot of views and stuff, but Not so much anymore, or maybe it's just like, maybe it still does get views, but it just doesn't get a lot. I don't know. What's this? This is going to be the CP3 Olive Canvas Jordan 12, whatever you want to call it, right? So these are very cool. I actually wore these to my sister's master's graduation a while ago. But yeah, very cool. I like the green. I like that they kind of threw some different materials on there because at the time, you know, I was like, again, still new to a lot of things. The gold plays nicely with it. So this is just one of the better releases in my personal opinion when it comes to 12s. I mean, the suede, that kind of makes it like not an everyday wear sort of thing, depending on what the weather's doing or whatever. Oh yeah, that's one of those older Nike things they used to have back in the old days. These large receipts for no real reason. But yeah, so I really like those, but you know, because of the suede, it's not going to be an everyday wear, unfortunately. Or, well, I guess you can wear it every day if you want to, but if you want it to stay like looking kind of nice or whatever, you might stray away from doing that. Okay, these right here. What is this? Some sunset or something or other colorway of the Vapor Max Plus. Now this was actually I don't know if this was the first color to come out, but it was definitely the first one that I got. I think it was the first color to come out. And when I was looking through things, I almost picked up for this set of reviews or this list or whatever, I almost went with the Neptune green, like the rainbow sort of color pair, because I was like, oh yeah, those are really cool. But then I realized that I bought them the same year, so these definitely win because I really wanted these. Like when I walked into Foot Locker, I was like, they're like, oh hey, we got them. I'm like, oh, you got them? Because like they knew I was looking for them. It's like, oh yeah, you want us to grab your pair? They knew what size I needed and stuff. I used to shop there a lot. So yeah, they brought them right out. It's a good time. Let's see. It got the receipt in here. I have the receipts in a lot of these things. So that was February 10th, 2018, and they got me for $164.54 at the, what store was this? Probably Foot Locker, right? Yeah, Foot Locker, Cielo Vista, if I'm saying that right, down in El Paso. I really liked shopping there with those guys. There was a good crew of people. So, that's stack number 3. Let's move on. Well, that's stack number 2. Moving on to stack number 3. Probably know what this is, right? Let's go ahead and open it up for those who don't. So this is the Abalone Foamposite, which I also bought from that same mall, not the same store, bought it from Foot Action. And I remember that day very clearly, but I've told that story before, I'm not telling it again. What I will say is that I like these a whole lot. Obviously, that's why they're in the top 10, right? So very, very awesome look to them. This weird feel, you know, but this was one that I put up every so often, or like people will watch it because like the videos are all out there, and oh man, I wish I had these, yada yada yada. And honestly, I didn't even know it was one that people were paying attention to, because you know, back then I didn't really have any interaction with like the world a whole lot. I was doing snups back then, right? That's my first little foray into the social media for that stuff. But there wasn't a lot of communication between people. It was just like, oh, like or thumbs up or happy face or whatever you would click to show that you were on board with whatever picture. But now I do hear about them every so often, you know, because people will comment, oh man, sad I missed out on them. This right here, I would have not been thrilled to have missed out on. But I didn't miss out on it, obviously. And as a matter of fact, I have 2 pairs of these. The other pair is down at Mom's house, because that's what makes sense when you have 2 pairs of things, to me. The semi-frozen yellow Yeezy 350, right? This right here is my favorite Yeezy 350, period. There is no question on that. No doubt whatsoever. I really like the coloring and just the overall thing of it. Got a little gum bottom type of action going on. Yeah, these are very cool. And I had considered, when I was going through the list, there was going to be the Sesame 350 in this lineup, right? But as I was going through my pictures of that year, I got to the end of the year, I'm like, wait, no, the Sesames can't overtake the semi-frozen yellows. I do really like the Sesames, but again, that's my favorite one. So what do you do, right? And now we have the last one, which actually I was just talking about these not too long ago on one of those little, remember these videos that I do from time to time? I actually just posted one like a couple hours ago because it's Sunday morning right now. And those always go out Sunday mornings at 9:30 Virginia time. The South Beach Jordan 8. Very cool in my opinion. Like these a whole heck of a lot, right? It was also, and I've said this before, one of the few times where I went out of my way to put in different laces. So that's why they look like they do. But yeah, I remember seeing these in the stores at the Foot Locker that I was talking about moments ago. And I was like, I need to have these things. And luckily that was a time when, you didn't always have to jump on stuff too early. Sometimes it just had to be like, within like a couple days or a couple weeks or something, and you'd be fine. So I was able to get them with zero hassle, and now that I have them, super excited or whatever to break them out every so often, which is not super often. And so that's the main 10, right? There are some other shoes to talk about real quick, but if you only came here for that, you can leave. That's fine. I get it. But some other things that came out in 2018 that I considered, right? Other than the ones I've mentioned, because the ones I mentioned were mostly like alternate colorways or whatever of things. So I thought about it. The Shadow Jordan 1. Thought about putting these in the list, but they ultimately just didn't make the cut. Only because so many other things were just better. I mean, I don't even like wearing Jordan 1s a whole lot. But this was a cool release. I actually won 2 pairs on the raffles, because again, times were good back then. I sold 1 pair online before I even left the store, and that kind of helped. Well, I had already paid for them, but kind of helped offset the cost of this one, so that was nice. Another thing that came out and I considered back then for the 2018 top 10 was this. I'm a big Huarache fan, right? And this wheat pair is super awesome, at least to me, right? It's not always good for every season, but for fall I do break it out once in a while. And this is just a standard Nike Air Huarache. Sometimes they're like the Runs or the Breathes or whatever. Just your standard issue one, but as much as I like it, it just didn't quite sit right with like putting this over anything else. And one other thing that I did like a fair amount, but like not in the same way that other people might, because I don't have all that same nostalgia. But the Black Cement 3, oh yeah, I forgot these have this like obnoxious thing in here. Yeah, these, so I like the elephant print, right? I think it's really cool, so that's kind of like what made these stand out to me. But otherwise, like, it's fine. Like, if I had gotten fewer things or something, yeah, these could have made the cut because it's still a cool look. But I can't sit here and act like, oh, I'm a big fan of the Jordan 3 and whatever, because I'm not. Just something. But I actually also got my dad a pair for, I think it was it might have been his first pair of Jordans. If not, it was the Flu Game 12s. Can't remember which one came out first. The 12s did, obviously. Because otherwise they would have been here in this lineup. So there we go. There's that. Covered everything I needed to cover. Took longer than I should have taken, but hey, whatever. You don't have to watch it. You can always fast forward. Or you just up the playback time. That works too. From me to you. Have a nice rest of your day or rest of your night, whatever it is, wherever you are. Gotta do a couple other videos and then I'll be done for the day. Luckily, nothing that I'm doing today takes a whole lot of editing, so that's pretty cool. Whatever though. Later, people.